welcome to the Acushnet Historical Commission meeting, October 17th, 2023, here at the Town Hall Meeting Room at 6:30. May I have a motion to open the meeting?
So move.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Let's stand for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. Now we have the meetings from our September 9th meeting. If you want to just look them over and we can
September,
get them.
Yeah, September.
Not September.
Time flies.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is when I said I was trying to get permission to go in there with a friend of mine who's a real estate agent. He was pretty interested, but
Yeah.
you know,
Well, tell him they are.
all that's on hold right now.
Yeah.
What about that building that is along Main Street there, and it seems like sort of a museum, and it's close to, the Whip, if you know what I mean.
The Whip?
No, well, the Whip is the ice cream store that's
Yeah.
just closed for the season.
You mean the Grange?
No, not the Grange. No. Isn't there another building that is open from time to time, and it's as though you were walking past other buildings in order to get to where they have the apple and peach? It's a good-sized building, and it says, tells you when it's open, and it's something of a museum, I think.
That's the Long Plain Museum.
Yes. Because it seems to me, if we could get in there, we'd have the best shot of all of finding out about the oldest buildings. Because they have a bunch of old maps and old stuff in there.
I'm in there almost every week.
Yeah? Mm-hmm.
And we had it open almost all summer.
Yes. And we never realized it might just be. Yeah.
We had a lot of people come through this year. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Oh, I'd be tickled to go in there anytime.
Okay, all right, may I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I make the motion.
Second?
Yep.
All in favor?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, tonight I'm basically going to talk about some historic properties that I've been researching.
Yeah.
This Richard might find very interesting. I came across this in all my paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show everybody that because I thought that was quite interesting. Okay, all right, because we've been researching a lot of property in the town that are over 100 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the 80s, they had a town-wide, what do you call it? For historic properties.
Yep.
They did, I can't think of his name, but anyways, Erwin Marks, I believe, was around at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they did the whole town on historic properties.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got 2 4-inch books with all the historic properties that they had researched at that time.
What year did they research it?
Back in the 80s, around 1980, 81.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
Because we might actually have better luck in a place like that than in the Registry of Deeds per se, because that place there, it's got all the old stuff, but you don't even know where to begin.
yeah, but I don't have any of that kind of information at the museum. Nothing to do with the deeds or anything.
No.
Nothing like that.
I bet you the assessors would know something.
That's the problem. The assessor's office, apparently from what they're telling me, I don't remember this, that there was a fire years ago.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of their records. So the records that they have for old properties in the town are not accurate.
That's too bad.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because I'm in the assessor's office at least 3 times a week
Yeah.
looking for properties and not much luck.
Because I wouldn't mind going with a couple of other people, but just saying to myself, what's the best building we could possibly visit to find out some of this?
It would definitely be the Registry of Deeds. That's the only place you're going to get the deeds, the actual deed on the property. And I'm going to show you
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if somebody knows what the buildings are, we can dig out the deeds. We can find them out.
Well, Richard has got the files with the property's address and all that
I
on
got
it.
3 of them we can start with.
That's
Let's
good.
put it that way.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
find several that we've done some good work.
Well, I figure if we could start off at the 3, and then we can jump into
You can
whatever
go a
else
little
you
bit more.
have.
I've already got a stack of about 10 more at home that have the deeds,
Yeah.
already the information ready.
Now, what I was saying before is if we find these properties that are 100 years old, and we're doing all this research, are we spinning our wheels, so to speak, if we've approached these people and they don't want a plaque?
Well, if they don't want one, like my friend Madeline does not want one.
Richard.
Oh, you?
Well, no, as long as it doesn't come with any restrictions.
No, because we have no restrictions in the town of Acushnet.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of the historical property, I know Whale.
Yeah,
and,
New Bedford, yeah.
Boy, I mean, you gotta
Yeah.
keep it, just,
Yeah.
you can't modify it in any way.
Yeah.
I mean, we've tried to keep ours. We put new windows.
Yeah.
We put the same type of window that was there.
Right,
We
right.
even put copper gutters.
gutters,
Yep.
which cost us a fortune back
Well,
then.
I'm gonna tell you, some of the historic homes, people have gone ahead and put vinyl siding on them. But the home itself is actually that age, even though it's got the vinyl. In the town of Acushnet, there is no restrictions. From what I was told, and I've asked about this, years ago, I don't know if Irwin was, it was the beginning when Irwin came in, about getting that law passed with the deed restrictions on the older properties, and it was turned down at town meeting,
Well, yeah.
okay?
What
So
kind of
I think I was
restrictions
at
could
that
they put on
meeting.
the?
well, they can make, in other words, they can say, no vinyl siding, you're gonna keep with the original paint, you cannot touch the exterior, it's gotta stay the same.
Gotta
So
stay
if
the
you
same
own the
color.
home, you still can't do that?
Right,
Right.
because in the city of New Bedford, those restrictions are there. But in Acushnet, we do not have them, they never got approved,
Okay.
okay? Now, here's a property, I don't know if you folks know where the golf course is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Years ago, at the top of the golf course on Main Street, there was an old property there.
Yep.
Okay? That property got moved down to Perry Hill Road.
That was Hathaway's property. They had Hathaway's
I
farm.
got the deed, look.
Yeah.
I got the deed on the whole thing. That property dated back to 1750. And I found it. I found it. I've been researching this property, I can't tell you how long. I went to the assessors, nothing. She suggested I go to the building department. And I was
They might
lucky
know
enough
something, yes,
to
they
meet
might.
Richard's wife there.
They might very well know something. about
Charlene, oh,
how to
she
do
was
it.
such a big help. We found files on the golf course itself. No word of a lie, at least 3 inches thick on the golf course. Now, there was a lot of
Golf course has only been in existence for a few years.
80s, in
Well,
the
yeah,
80s.
okay.
Where
Yeah, a few
was,
years, yeah.
where was the property moved to?
I
Perry
found
Hill.
it. It's on Perry Hill
It's
Road.
on Perry Hill Road?
70 Perry Hill Road, and it's in a retreat lot, way in the back, so
Right.
you can't see it from the street.
But they did keep it more or less original.
Well, that's what I want to find out, because this is the plot. It was 685 Main Street, okay, and it had various buildings there. It had it was a greenhouse here,
There was a barn in
there was
there,
a barn.
cow barn.
Yep, the barn.
I
There was
spent a lot of time on that property as a kid.
Did you? Okay, it took me ages to find this property, but thanks to Charlene, we figured out we actually went from the golf course, we did all the research through the golf course, and after we got all that information, then we went to Perry Hill Road, and she's got tons of files on Perry Hill Road. So I went through all of them, and this is how I was able to find it. I found out all this information.
So you
See,
found the
under
property that the building was moved to?
It was,
Is the building still there?
It's a house.
Person that bought
It's a
it,
house.
that Golf
And
course
who owns
sold
the property now?
I got that information.
Wasn't it somebody we knew that moved it?
See, I am not sure. Now, do you remember what the house looked like?
Yes.
Okay.
It had 3 dormers
Look at
in
this
the front.
picture, because this picture is a big house, and then it's got the apartment on that was added on to the side.
This is the house on Perry Hill?
That's the one on Perry Hill that was moved from Main Street. Was it the one with the dormers?
And if I remember right, they had 3 single window dormers on the second floor.
Yeah.
I don't believe it was it could have been a shed.
Well, don't forget, these people
shed
have
dormer.
remodeled and done everything to it.
This
You know?
is it now?
That's the property now.
Yeah.
But you see, this was added on.
Mhm.
There was 2 different buildings that were added on to it.
So is that one of the oldest properties in the town?
That one's 1750.
How
Okay,
old was
so
ours?
here it is, see, they got the
How old
building
was that
permit,
house?
Mhm.
all right?
No,
Continue by the town.
early 18th.
The people that own it
Now?
now. Yeah.
I believe they were single window dormers, but as far as the house goes, I know there was a porch on front.
Yeah, that might have, well, they
but-
could have
but, yeah, I mean,
remodeled it.
the buildings on the side were added.
Yeah, yeah. But the couple, their name is Duff, that owns it now.
Okay.
And they got a sign at the street saying Bella Way, like a street sign for their driveway. But
Right.
it's a retreat lot, it's way in the back.
And I believe it was the town or through the golf course or whatever that sold that because they didn't want the house.
Okay, we're doing all this research for,
Okay, this, what's the first man's name? Oh, shoot. Okay, his name was, do you remember a Mr. George Bevilacqua? He lived on 20 Perry Hill Road.
that's who
You
bought
can't,
the
there are
house.
any
He was the
Italians in this
one-
town.
He was the one
Yeah,
that
that's gotta
owned
be a
the
mistake.
land where the house has been
Is
moved to
down.
now.
Yeah.
But it's another couple that own it now, the Duffs.
Yeah.
Okay? But according to this, it says that there was no contingency for the town, that the accessory apartment, see, they remodeled
Yep.
and refurbished I believe this house, the Duff's main house. And the only requirement is that the second house, which is presently located at 681 Main Street, be moved to 62 Perry Hill Road within the next 30 days to 60 days, because they were attaching it as an accessory apartment.
Uh-huh.
So there was
To
no
the property.
restrictions on what they could do as far as renovations though?
No,
So they
no,
made all the renovations that they wanted to.
they could do whatever they
So the
wanted
house
to.
doesn't look like, much like it did back in...
Well-
Well,
So
basically it does.
It does,
Basically, it does.
because I had talked to Steve Elias, who lives like across the way
Right.
from them, and he said the house had dormers.
Right. But
Yeah.
if I remember right, there was 3 single
Single
window dormers
Dormers,
on
where this is
the
doubles.
second floor. Yeah, it looks like they've,
yeah. Well,
put a
they
whole
did,
shed dormer across the front.
yeah, they did all the remodeling. You know, they got the building permits and everything to do all the remodeling. But see, the golf course itself, I mean, it included a lot of small lots.
That was all Hathaway's farm.
But the
And then the
golf course-
father had
The golf course.
the auto body
Yeah,
next door.
yeah.
Which is now, the truck repair.
Oh, that was still was part of that land?
That was Hathaway's name.
Okay, okay.
Wendell Hathaway was the father's name.
Okay.
Now, are these people interested in a plaque?
Well, I've gotta go visit them. And I gotta, show them that I've got the information, showing this property dates back to 1750.
That's a
And it was one of the
I wonder if there's anything
farmhouses.
left of the original house. It must be, like you said, if it's still basically the same. It
Yeah,
must still have the basic formation.
outside. With the farmer's porch and the dormers, the only thing is, they revamped the property, so they probably added the double windows and,
They probably opened it up and put the full shed dormer across the front.
So
and the
these-
accessory apartment is attached to the main house.
So the properties in town that we're looking up that are over 100 years old.
Yep.
Some of them probably don't look anything like they did when they were built because there's no restrictions on
There's no
what they can
restriction.
do.
They can paint it whatever color they want.
They can put vinyl siding.
They can put vinyl siding. Unfortunately, that's the way things are. They can do it.
Well, an example, our house, that was a 4-room cape.
Yep.
Then it was jacked up, the first floor was built underneath,
Underneath it.
and then
The
the
back
back was added on in the late 20s.
Ah. Now, who did that? Was that the original owner?
No. As far as I know, I can go back as far as George Tabor in 1850s, or 1887, we have a dated picture. I had showed that to you.
Yep, yep.
And then Fuller had bought it, I guess in somewhere in 1880s or whatever. And he jacked it up and put the first floor into it. And then Windsor bought it in the early 1900s.
We took it
and
down, what we did.
then he ended up adding
outside,
you
the
know,
back to it.
Yeah, the town. has
So
that
actually, it was
sign
only a
there,
4-room
on
house
our
originally?
That's our second and third floor now.
We're almost 200
Second and
years
third
old.
floor.
Really?
And you can see it in the old picture to now.
I
It
have
still
the
looks
plaque,
like
but we
the
haven't put
house.
it back on the
You can
house
tell
yet,
the
but
back
I can
wing
just
where
write down the date
the
and
house
name, and we
ended
can find
and the
that
back
in
wing
the
was
registry
put
deed.
on.
Yeah.
If you look at the house, you can.
Okay.
And what's that
See,
back
all the
wing?
older books.
What
are
is
the
it, a
upstairs
bedroom?
on the registry.
Kitchen?
Yeah.
Look at it, we'll see, you see everything.
Upstairs is
They,
the back
they
wing.
modernized it back in the
1937 is
20s.
upstairs.
In the 20s, right?
And so we can look at it very quietly there, and no matter what's going on downstairs, we're not affected by it.
Okay.
Okay, this is the guy next door. Now, this Wendell Hathaway,
That was the owner.
he was the original owner?
Well, I don't know about, no, it wouldn't be original if it's gone back to the 1700s, no.
No.
But
See, this.
he owned it
this-
back in the 50s anyways,
Yes, he did, right here. 1945
okay?
through 1960. Okay, now it says here Joseph Sampson, history in 1750. Goes back to the Joseph Sampson history in 1750. One of the farmhouses on the property. Now it says this house was located where the present milk shed is located. The original house burned in 1930 and was rebuilt by Frank Morse. And Frank Morse in 1930.
So what you're looking at in that picture was the rebuilt house.
Yeah, because the original house was 1750.
So this house has changed hands numerous times since it was
No doubt, no doubt.
since it was built.
Well, yeah, over the time period here.
Yeah, we were talking to about 300 years.
Yeah.
Now, I was telling this fellow here that we're gonna take a look at our house, 1236 Main Street, that was built in the 1820s. And we, you know, like, we have one of those plaques, but we took it down in order to put up nice modern siding.
The siding, yep.
But we have not put it back up, but I know exactly where it is upstairs in the house. I will take a look and see whose name is on and what year, and we're halfway home.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
original deed, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you can attach that to the vinyl siding, you know.
Oh, certainly. Yeah,
Yeah.
we probably will.
Okay.
But, you know, for now, anyway, we haven't.
Mm-hmm.
We could do that, sure.
So this was kind of interesting. You guys can look at that one too, about the, from River's End in that area.
Oh, that's
Names
also
all the
sure.
houses, all the historic houses.
Okay, so has somebody actually picked up deeds going with each of these? As, yeah, I mean, I don't want to duplicate anything somebody else has already done. So-
Oh yeah, that we're not gonna touch because those homes are historic
I have
homes.
3 properties we can investigate Thursday.
Yes.
On Main Street, right?
And pardon me,
On Main
yes.
Street.
And once we get those investigated, you can hand me some more. And once I find out, we can even do them together or
Yes, sure.
whatever. You know, we can do.
I would appreciate the help because
Yeah,
I can't do it all.
sure.
I took a bad fall today,
Uh-oh.
coming out of my house.
Does
I went to-
anybody have somewhere or other a list of all the places that have got such a plaque on them right now, or
I do have list at home that lists all the historic homes in the town.
Yes.
And I've added to it because we found more
Yeah.
than what was actually done.
Well, if somebody could run off a copy or two, this fellow and I will go to the Registry of Deeds on Thursday and we'll see what we can find.
Well, you got the folders of the certain properties right
got
now.
this, yeah.
We got
Yeah.
3 folders now, once we get to
That
them,
might be enough.
exactly, for the
Yeah.
first time anyway.
Sure, yes.
Okay.
And then we'll see how it goes and we'll go from there.
Another house, Richard, the Plodd's house, over here, the one next door to Roseland Nursery. Cecile Plodd used to live there. When I was selling Avon years ago, she used to buy Avon
Yes,
from
we
me.
have with the
I'm
Registry
not
of Deeds and
familiar
Mixed
with
Counties,
It's the
which
big
is,
one. It just
recording
recently
deeds in
sold. A young
1641.
fella bought it.
That the one they're redoing it all over?
And,
They're redoing it,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
the beginning
Yeah,
of Rivertown was
yeah,
not called
yeah.
Rivertown, it was
Because
called
the
Great
people that
Harbor
lived there, the
for a
Bentos,
while, then they
I
changed
guess
the
he
name to
died
Rivertown.
and she died right
And there
after.
was some sort of
16,
normal
right?
warning.
One, that's-
So I didn't
Pretty
know
house,
that.
pretty house.
Oh, the house was
Well, the
nice,
thing
but
is,
it's
a lot of
broken up
people
into
don't even realize
apartments.
those islands.
Like in the front, you got one apartment, and when you go down the driveway, the back,
When
that was
they
a
were
separate
taken away
apartment,
from
and
the
then
colony of New
upstairs.
York, which
As far as I know, it's got only
by
3.
King and Queen, William and Mary, because New York
But
was.
that's gotta be a historic home because
And the people
Roseland
that-
Nursery
But
is,
again, now they
took away
redid
and
the
they
whole
gave
thing.
Block Island.
they haven't done it yet, it
Island.
hasn't even been
And the
painted
other islands all
outside.
came to Massachusetts.
He's
That's
working on
not
the
the one I'm
inside.
thinking of.
1691.
I'm thinking of the one they've been working
And that's
at.
also the year when the witchcraft was beginning up in Salem.
Where,
Oh, you're talking about
I
the
read some stories
one,
on that. That
I know
was
which
quite-
one you're
quite
talking
the
about,
time.
across from Pope Park. Yeah,
Rough stuff.
Liberio
At least
Swords,
20 people
he's on the
executed.
assessors,
The registry
here in
and
town.
the- and
He
the,
bought it.
The legislature.
And I made a plaque for him,
exonerated one of them.
because we
Somebody
did the
made a-
research on that
put in
one
a bill
too,
asking them
and
to
came
take
up
a
with
look
the
at it and
name
exonerate
of the
person
gentleman
who
that
was no
actually
witch
built
at
it,
all, and they later
and-
admitted she wasn't. And
because
so
that,
declared the
that
record
gentleman
for
passed
being,
away, his son
That was a shame.
is the one that donated
Great to have
Pope
nothing better
Park
to do.
to the town.
okay.
I found all that information,
Yeah.
research. I'm telling you, you can drive yourself crazy. I do. Some nights it's like, you see all this? Well, I got 10 times more at home.
Oh, sure.
If I wasn't working part-time, I'll tell you, I could be buried in this day in and day out.
Sure.
And I wouldn't get tired of it, though. The thing is,
It's
it's
fascinating.
interesting, yeah.
Sure it is.
And the more I dig, the more I want to dig. You know, like this property on
Yeah.
Perry Hill.
We
I was
did the-
determined because everybody said, it got moved down on Perry Hill Road. Well, yeah, where? You go down Perry Hill Road now, you got a lot of retreat lots.
Sure.
Can you see the house from Perry Hill Road?
You can
Just
see
about.
just a little bit at the driveway, just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's got quite a long driveway to get in. But yeah, that's gonna be my next step, is to go pay them a visit.
Yeah.
And I'll show you, take the information that I have, with me to show them how we came up with the age of the property.
Sure.
And if they're interested in having a plaque done,
So there must be some properties that were over 100 years old that have been totally remodeled. In other words, probably even torn down and remodeled
Oh,
on the
certainly.
same,
Oh,
on the
certainly,
same
yeah.
plat of land.
Yeah, and we've got,
And that these houses would not require or get a plaque because they've been changed so much.
well, even if the exterior's got vinyl siding,
Well, I'm
the
not
original
talking
house,
vinyl siding, I'm talking about a total remodel.
well, depends what you mean. I mean, if they tore it down and rebuilt another house, then it wouldn't qualify because it's not the same,
Right.
you know?
So some of the original house has to still be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Our original part of the house is still there, but 2 pieces were added on at a later
There you
time,
go.
both out front and out back.
Yep,
But it was all done by 1826, I believe.
see?
Yep.
It's amazing. I'm telling you, when you start digging,
Yep.
it's unbelievable.
Yep.
And the plaques, I mean, just recently I had 3 plaques made.
Yep.
One for Liberio's house there across from Pope Park.
Yep.
And the one down at the corner of Lake Street in Maine, that two-story, beautiful house.
Oh, okay, the
I
one of
hear-
the selectmen used to live there years ago.
Really?
Oh, what was his name? Yeah, it was a selectman, and he ended up moving to, I don't know, Springfield area or whatever.
Ah, I know it's a historic home because we have the whaling captain, the photo in the museum that lived there.
Trying to think of his name.
Yeah. The young couple bought it from Boston, and they got the second floor. They rented the apartment out because the house is huge. But just the two of them, the first floor is certainly large enough. But you ought to see that property. I mean, she showed me around. They got an in-ground pool, and the landscaping out of this world.
That's
They
a big
fenced-
lot.
They fenced in the property. Yeah, it goes right back to Heidi's, the daycare,
Right.
right behind. So
And that used to be Dunbar, the daycare,
Yeah.
and, 'cause I used to cut his grass.
Well, I'm going to tell you a little story about that too, because years back now, Heidi had called me over there to see her in her backyard, like a little cemetery. Okay, and she had talked to, I guess, one of the neighbors, I don't know who, and somebody elderly, and they said that a little boy was buried there, from the family years ago. And I tried doing some research on it. I couldn't find nothing on it because back then people put cemeteries in their yard and you never know who was there. But she kept, I don't know if it was the same person that told her, but she called me and she said, well, guess what I found out? The little boy did die. He was buried there. When they sold the house, they had him taken from there and put in the cemetery, Long Plain. So that was quite a story. She had me really, going walking in the backyard and seeing the cemetery. No, not good. Not good. Especially when you're not too good with cemeteries like me. Okay, so anyways, that's how I found all the information on this particular property, was I ended up at the building department. And that's where they had, the files, it was incredible. When that building department was upstairs in this town hall, I never saw files. Rows and rows and rows of files, like the setup they have now. It's incredible. No matter what you're looking for, you're going to find it there.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have to go through the building department to move it or whatever, And that's how I found all that information. So I've got a couple more that I'm going to call Charlene, see when she's working, because I want to go over there.
She could be there Thursday.
She will? Well, Thursday might be the morning.
This is gonna be her last,
Last week?
yeah, because after she gets 100 hours in, she can't go back until the next tax time. And she has to reapply, so
No.
I don't know what's gonna happen. But she's been enjoying it, I know.
I know she's had fun. Her and I had a ball that day. I was there an hour and a half. And her and I were going through the files, and she says, I'm learning from you. So she was excited about it. So we're going to keep working on it, though, because I've got so many properties to look up and see what we can do as far as the prints. Okay. So anyways, basically, this meeting was really about is researching and trying to get more of these older properties get established with deeds and to see exactly the ages on them and who originally built them.
Well, once we go down and find out
Yep.
the procedure, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And with the two of us, we should be able to plow through what we have, the three that we have, and
Yep.
then we can maybe do so many every week,
Yeah.
Yep.
if you have the free time.
I will have some, early.
Yeah, well,
early on
I don't
Thursday.
mean every day.
No.
No, because he goes down to the islands.
I only go to the island maybe twice weekly now because there's not enough to do.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got more to do in this registry of deeds and the one in Taunton for now anyway.
But you know something? This registry of deeds in New Bedford has got a lot of Taunton records here now.
Well,
There's one section, I think it's on the second floor.
that's right.
It's all Taunton.
Well, what it is, until 1837, they would have the records of the entire county, probably, up until 1837, and then they broke it up into three separate parts. And the part that contains Taunton has Taunton and everything north of it,
Yeah.
west of it, and east of it, the smaller places.
Mm.
The Fall River one has nothing but
Yeah.
Freetown, Fall River, Somerset, and Swansea.
Yeah, yeah.
And then all the southern ones are in this one.
Mm. Yeah, because I went to the Fall River one once. I don't remember where the property was that I had to go there to look up.
It's a nice one.
Yeah, that one is, yeah.
Yep.
But they do have a lot of records now right here from Taunton.
Yes,
I mean,
because
really old ones.
Yeah, because they have all the older stuff here because that was when the registry was everything was in one spot. You had to record your deeds in Taunton, which was unfair really to the larger places that had a long trip up there every time they
know.
did record something. So they broke the county up into 3 pieces.
Yeah, yeah.
You live on Hamlin Street, right? How are you doing with the bridge down there?
I have no idea. I have not gone down there to look.
How about that mill, the old grist mill that's on Hamlin Street? Is
The
that
White's
part of?
factory.
Pardon me?
That's White's factory.
Right, is that part of that
Yeah.
historical society's
We got a sign there.
concern? I mean,
Yeah.
because the last time I can remember was pretty overgrown.
Oh, it's terrible. Well, that's a long, long story, because I had 2 guys here from town that used to take care of it. But that property is under the Acushnet Fairhaven Land Trust. It is not owned by the town of Acushnet anymore. So, the town of Acushnet will not do anything with that property. So we've been in touch with the land trust, and the lady that's running the land trust now, all she can say is, I don't have no money, I have no money, I have no money. She told me she had 3 or 4 guys working for her that would cut the grass and trim it. I called her twice this past summer. So I'm gonna send them over there to clean the place up. They went one time, and that was
How
it.
about volunteers to go over there? Is that problem?
Well,
Or is that trespassing?
yeah, because it's Fairhaven Acushnet Land Trust.
Yeah.
Town of Acushnet, we even asked if the town would put barriers on the parking lot area so the cars wouldn't keep going down in further, and they said they can't do it
Yep.
because they don't own the property anymore. That was owned by White's Dairy, and White's Dairy is the one that turned it over to the land trust.
Now,
But I got her name and number at home, and she just doesn't do anything. That's why the 2 guys gave up, because they couldn't get her to get from any help at all.
The grantee, they have what they call the grantee index.
Mm-hmm.
And the grantee index is where you look when you want to find out when somebody obtained the property. And they'll go right back to the beginning of the county. And once you know that, you know the name, and you look it up, and you can see the deed and see what the description looks like, and you can make a copy for small money.
Well, that's the sign that you painted down there, the historic district. I fought for that district.
Yep.
So all these houses are included
Yep.
in that district on both sides of the street.
We could probably look up all this stuff, the books.
Yeah, but you don't need to, because we already have that info.
Oh, okay, well, we'll just look for other ones.
That's why
Yeah.
we got the folder. We'll have plenty of,
Yeah,
we'll have plenty to look
Yeah.
up.
I should-
Yeah.
Sure.
You're gonna have a folder, something like this with the address on it.
Oh, sure.
So,
You know,
we
and
have,
then-
I have those at home.
Sure.
I'll bring them Thursday and we'll start from there.
Without, yeah, with as much info as I could get on them, you know? But, yeah.
Yep.
And you didn't bring me no maps, huh?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
they're filed away.
They gotta be in that closet. I'll have to pull it out.
One of these days I'm gonna go knock on your door. Okay, I'm here, I'll help you with the closet. Oh my
You
God.
better plan on spending some time.
Well, you know what? I've got Saturday, I will be at the museum Saturday morning
Yep.
for about 9:15.
Yep.
The 2 Springer boys, you know, the boys from Fire Bell Rock on King Road, the 2 boys are gonna go up there and see if they can fix the bell for me, because it's off the track.
Good trick if they could do
Well,
it. Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta go up through the scuttle. I don't know, it's gonna be a tough
What
job.
is this, the lump lane? I mean,
Mm-hmm, yeah. So if you wanna see the museum Saturday, I'll be there from about 9:15. They're gonna come around 9:30.
Saturday, you say?
Yep, Saturday morning.
Yeah, because I mean, I have about a 5-minute walk from
You
the
do.
front door of that place.
And now, all the times we were open and you never came.
No, I just had other things to do. I was in there once a number of years ago, and the one thing I remember most clearly, they had a map on the wall that showed the entire town, and I think it had the names of people and where they were
Yeah,
as of a certain date, but it was a later date than, it might have been about the 1870s, 1880s.
1871 and
That sounds
1895.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the same one I have.
1871,
Could have been.
yeah,
I know it's
Yeah, it had people's names on it.
later 1800s.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because those are the two smaller maps that we sell up there, 1871 and
It
1895.
shows the residents and the,
Mm-hmm. It shows like a house, what
Yep.
would be a house, you know?
How'd you make out with Cheryl Kavush? She was bringing
She
you?
brought it to me. She brought it to me. It's like a beige color, and it's a long, like a neck gown with the little coat that goes over it with like puffy sleeves about here, and it ties in the front. So what I did, it was really dirty. It really she had it stuffed in the closet somewhere. It was all wrinkled up and everything. So what I did is I brought it home and I hand washed it because I was afraid it was going to just come right apart, you know, in my hands. But it didn't. No, it held up really good. And then I hung it over my line downstairs to dry. And I took it up last Sunday. And I've got one of those, you know, the bust models. Yeah, and I put it fit perfect. So now I got it up there showing it. She was nice. She was very nice. So I said, Madeline Richards said hi. She said, oh, she said, good hi. Oh my goodness.
The old library is up in the air until the selectmen decide what they're gonna do.
You know what I can tell you? Come to town meeting with November 6th. Town
Okay.
meeting. If you can make it that night, it's at the Ford Middle
we're
School.
gonna be gone.
Yeah.
You're gonna be
It's our
going?
anniversary.
Oh, November 6th? How many years?
52,
50,
53.
Oh, I beat you.
52 this year.
52. Mine is 50, let me see, 67? 56. It was 56 in April.
What month?
April 30th. Yeah. And you know Jerry Reed? Jerry Reed?
Mm-hmm.
You know her. Her husband's in the nursing home. Yeah. She made 56 years this year too in May.
And where's the meeting at which school? The town meeting?
Ford Middle.
The middle school.
And it's November 6th, and it's what, 6 o'clock? I think it's 6 o'clock. But they may have to go to town meeting with that in order to sell the property.
Why? Town meeting, well, yeah, I suppose if it's already
Well-
owned by the town, they can't do much with it unless the voters say, oh, we approve of it.
People in the town own it.
I think that's,
What
yeah,
time is the meeting, 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock. Yeah. So anyways, we've got a lot of work we're doing here with
No, this is good. This is
the
good.
researchers with these old properties.
Yep.
I would like to get, oh my God, what's the name of the place? Roseland. Roseland Nursery, because that's a very old historic house. But I don't know if the owners are around. I don't know, because I heard before they go to Florida a lot. So I don't know if they're actually here with the business or they're not. I'm gonna have to stop there and Christine works in the store. Gonna have to ask her if they are around or not and talk to them, because maybe they would like a plaque on the house, you know? That one is very old. And then next door is the Plods, which I believe that property is very old too. That's another one we're gonna have to research, because I don't have a deed on that one.
Now the Plods, that's on the
It's,
east side?
if you're going this way back home,
South.
it's the house before
Just
Roseland.
before.
Yeah. And you notice it's the paint's all peeling off it. It's really bad. But I can see that this guy, whoever bought it, is doing some work to it. You know, in that apartment around the back, you can see that's pretty well, looks pretty good from outside. But I don't know if there's anybody living upstairs, because there actually was 3 apartments there. But I believe that house is pretty old, because I remember when Mrs. Plod lived there, and I think she died, she was in her 90s. So that's an old property, and God knows who owned it before her. So it's right in that area where there's quite a few old properties there. So, but if we can, you know, do a little bit of research and get more information on it, then we can start putting plaques up more.
Okay, on Thursday, I've got a brown RAV4, that's what I drive, and I usually park it right in front of the Registry of Deeds if I can. You gotta pay money, but, you know,
Yeah,
it
there's
shouldn't take
meters.
us a wicked long time in there, so. As long as you can find a parking meter, you can
Well,
park
the
right.
last time I was there was plenty of parking.
Plenty of
Well,
Go there early enough in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, well, if I can, of course, 2 or 3 of the law firms have parking areas right beside the courthouse. You can stick your car in one of them and nobody will say much.
Well, either that or the garage, the town garage, you just walk up
You
the
certainly
hill.
could, yeah, certainly could.
Well, like I say, I'll meet you there.
I'll get there right at 9,
Okay, no problem.
and,
Good. Get them working together.
Okay.
yeah.
I need their help. I can't do it
When we get there,
all.
we'll just go right upstairs in the upper part of the building, and you'll see the old books and the indexes.
Okay. Anything else under old business? Any under new business to talk about?
No.
I think we're overwhelmed right about
Yeah,
now.
I think we discussed it all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty to be done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is, it's a never-ending job. We do have a new member coming in, but I guess she didn't get sworn in time, because she's gonna be joining us too. She's very excited about it.
Oh, yes.
So we need, and Laurie Bates didn't come again tonight, which she did last time.
Yep.
So, okay, if there's nothing else, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Second? All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. We are adjourned.